There's also been a very successful scheme in England and Wales for 75% rates relief for hospitality, tourism and retail. Last year, the Barnett consequentials went from the UK Government to the Scottish Government. They chose not to pass that on to these vital organisations and sectors. There is significant concern, particularly amongst hospitality, and I met with Stephen Montgomery of the Scottish Hospitality Group just last week, that they are again not going to receive that funding. Now, clearly the UK Government gives the Scottish Government a significant amount of money, and it's up to them to spend it. I wonder, as a Scottish MP, and Mr Lamont might want to come in here as well, how important would it be that the Scottish Government do pass on that full 75% rates relief for the businesses that didn't get it last year and are desperate for it this year?
Well, I would say very important, but you may want to add to that, do you, John? Or
No, I just would agree. I mean, I think that there's a growing frustration that there's additional funding coming to Scotland from this United Kingdom government, which not only businesses and employers don't see the benefit of in Scotland because the Scottish Government decides to hang on to it. Local authorities in Scotland are also crying out for additional funding, so they don't see the benefit of the huge block grant which Scotland is getting. All they see is their budgets getting cut more and more by the Scottish Government. So I share your frustration.
I would add to that, if you don't mind, that actually this basically demonstrates what a fair and you might even say generous settlement, the devolution system we have in this country. You wouldn't see this in Germany or US in a federal system where Berlin would send money to the Landes without any scrutiny or accountability. And that certainly doesn't happen in the US federal system. So effectively what's happening here is the money goes to Edinburgh with no strings attached. It's up to the Scottish Government to decide what their priorities are. Now, if they decide priorities are to give record pay settlements to the public sector, or they decide to make record welfare and benefit payments, they are entitled to do that. But if the result of that is that there's a big funding squeeze on local authorities, on the police, on education, that is for the Scottish Government to decide. There's nothing to do with Westminster. It's entirely to do with the priorities of the Scottish Government, and they must then, when they come to the budget coming up, they've made their decisions, they must put their hand up and own their decisions, take accountability for their decisions.